As many of you guys know, I am Mr. No Tip, No Trip. I talk about it. I go in on the customers. I clown on them. I'm very opinionated about tipping in this gig economy. But I saw this sent to me by a few people, and then I saw it in my news feed. It's got me thinking a little bit. Am I wrong? Let's talk about it. All right, so this is from Newsweek. DoorDash driver not prepared for customer. Note over tip, heartbroken. So I'm gonna share with you guys a little bit of this article. I'm gonna give you my opinion, and I want your guys' opinion as well, because this goes against what I say and what I believe in. But there's always another side. So let's talk about it. So this article starts with: the internet has been left in tears after reading a heartbreaking note that was given to a delivery driver to explain why the customer couldn't tip. Okay, you can always tip. So that you lost me there in the beginning, but let's continue. The 20-year-old woman who works for DoorDash, a food ordering delivery platform, blah, 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 shared a note on Reddit. So the note reads, "I'm very broke. Sorry, I cannot afford a tip. Parentheses, I shouldn't have even ordered food." Remember that. I shouldn't have even ordered food. Have some candy. So she tips in candy, which I think is actually pretty cool. That shows that they're not completely miserable and they actually do care. And leaving a note shows that they're not miserable. So I'm going to give the consumer some grace here, okay? So, and she apologizes in a note. And the one thing about this article, the driver goes on to say, despite being paid $2.50 per order and relying on tips, the young woman felt obliged to accept the order. Why would she accept it? She didn't know there was a note. She couldn't have seen the note until after she dropped it off, right? So she would have had to drop it off. The note's there on the patio with some candy, whatever. So why did she feel obliged to accept the order? That doesn't make any sense. That's why sometimes I feel like these stories are like, are they made up? Are they not made up? Or we're going to assume that it's reality. But this driver, I would say, is more of a clown than the customer. And I'll get into that in a minute, because something doesn't seem right there. The driver goes on to say in the comments, being a child who grew up in poverty, I know what it's like to struggle. I will continue accepting these no-tip orders. So I just called the driver a clown, but then they're going to do some good humanity, Meal on Wheels kind of thing, whatever. They're going to make it harder on the rest of us because she's just, these customers are now going to, feel okay to not tip. That is what it is. But this driver is definitely either looking for some attention or she's Mother Teresa doing DoorDash. So the driver goes on to say that she wasn't mad. She was more heartbroken. She was saddened. The customer had to leave that note, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's dig into the customer. I've always said, and y'all know, make a sandwich, go to Aldi, have financial responsibility. If you're broke, why are you ordering DoorDash? That's number one. I want somebody in the comments. I know some of you customers are going to watch this and be triggered. Pedro, where's your heart? Where's your heart? You're so heartless. You're so cruel. She doesn't have to tip. She left a note. I get it. But why are you ordering DoorDash? In what scenario does a broke human being, broke, you're in poverty, whatever, need DoorDash? Can somebody tell me in the comments? Can you tell me one time that order would even need to be a thing to where somebody would have to go on their phone, whip up their phone and order DoorDash and be so poor, so broke that they couldn't tip and they felt bad? What is she ordering? She's ordering food, I'm assuming. Let's assume it's not prescriptions or whatever. Why? To me, that's the bigger issue. I've always talked about this. I've talked about it a million times. The thought process of somebody that is broke, but they're ordering DoorDash when you're going to be charged 30, sometimes 50% more for that item than if you went and got it yourself or if you cooked it. That's why you're broke. You're having bad financial decisions. Like, somebody says, well, man, Pedro, they might not have a car. They might not have this. Most people that don't have a lot of money live around areas where there is a store very close, a convenience store, a bodega, something where they can go and get something themselves. While I feel for this person, because people are struggling nowadays, if you're struggling, DoorDash should be the last thing on your mind. It should be the last thing that you're thinking about. And if you are wanting food delivered for your lunch, your breakfast, your dinner, whatever, your focus is in the wrong place if you're broke. DoorDash shouldn't even be in your vocabulary. That's going to offend a lot of people. I don't care. But then in saying that, am I wrong? Should we be thinking about people that are struggling, and should we accept every order and in hopes to get some candy, a nice note, maybe a cash tip, some pocket change, a thank you? Some would say, yeah, Pedro, we should do that. It's our job. You're a delivery driver. You should accept everything. It's part of what you should do. You'll get a cash tip. We should care about these people. What if they're old? What if they're disabled? I get that. And this driver seems like she's going to continue to do no tip orders because she feels like she understands the person. She was in poverty before she gets it. But I can't do that. I'm not going to make any money if I do that. So I'm supposed to be in poverty. I'm supposed to be broke. Because if I accept $2, $3 orders, I'm going to be broke. So should we both be broke? Or should the customer not order? Should DoorDash pay us more? Should DoorDash have some programs in place, which I think they do, or a Meals on Wheels type of thing, to where people that really need food can get food? DoorDash has partnered with certain churches and organizations in a lot of cities to where it's like project this or project that or feed the whatever. Those things are good, and a lot of times a DoorDash driver will pick up an order and drop off a package of perishable items and food for somebody, and they usually pay okay, and there's no tip, and it is what it is. That's okay. But if you're a customer out there and you're poor and you're broke and you literally can't afford to tip, why are you ordering that Big Mac value meal and spending $20? I've yet to see somebody that can give me a logical explanation for your spending behavior as a consumer that's broke and doesn't tip. I'm waiting. So I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. Consumers, beat me up in the comments section. Say all the things you want about, we don't want to tip before the service. We don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Somebody still explain to me why broke people are using DoorDash and using it as an excuse. I will give some grace to the consumer. Leaving a note and leaving some candy tells me that they're not a miserable POS. They're not a clown, because they actually care about that other human being. But most consumers aren't going to leave a note like that. That's what makes this a little bit rare. This person has some empathy for somebody bringing up something, realizing that a tip is probably warranted and should have been done, but he or she cannot do it. I'll give a little bit of grace to the consumer for leaving a note, because that's nice. It's a great gesture. But notes and candy don't put gas in my car, and they don't put clothes on my girl's back and food in her stomach. But the customer has food. So y'all tell me what you think in the comments down below. I'm probably wrong to a lot of you guys. But at the end of the day, man, we can't be delivering people food with no tips. We're not going to make money. And this delivery driver that's like, I'm going to continue to do this, you're basically running Meals on Wheels. You're going to run your car into the ground. You're going to become frustrated. And at some point, you're going to be in poverty if all you're doing is $2 and $3 runs. Now, the DoorDash is going to send you something good every once in a while. But this algorithm will know that you're the driver willing to do it. So basically, you're doing Meals on Wheels and you're not making any money. That driver is a clown in my book. And that's a harsh statement to say. But if you want to do this, you sign up for an organization, do it on Saturday mornings, whatever. Don't do it while you're trying to make money, because you're making us look bad. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I want to show you guys something. Shout out to Jennifer. Look at the items. You can do a count. Pause the video if you want. Okay, not a big deal, right? You need some produce, some breakfast stuff, some of that, some pantry. All right, 15 of this, 15 of that, 9 of that, 6 of that. You know, listen, we get paid to shop, y'all. 3 count, 1 count, 5 count. Yep, 3 count, 1 count, 5 count, 2 count, 6 count, 10 count, 10 count. Yeah, okay, all right, no big deal. 2 count, 2 count. All right, 4 counts of milk. All right, some luncheon meats. All right, starting to get a pretty big order, right? 3, 7. Look, okay, all right, pantry, more. 8 count, 3 count, 3 count. 5 count cheese, 1 count. Now we're like, oh, this order's big. You guys doing the math? How many items? Okay, 30. Oh, 30 bananas. That's easy. 2 count. 2 packages, 1 count, 2 count. Okay, do that. I want you to, go through, look at how many. You know, items, units, whatever. You know, pretty big order, right? This is 200 and something items. Let me show you. For context, that's the blue dot. That's where I'm at, and that's how far away that customer is. You guys see that? 30 miles. So basically it's 60 miles for 12 bucks. Oh, well, you can see it there. All right, so they want me to go to St. Charles Rock Road. I'm, 40 miles from there. 256 items, 229 units. You're going to have to take my word for it, but this order was paying $12. I accepted it just to show you the issue with Instacart and many of these apps. They allow a human being to disrespect us that way, and the app disrespects us as well. Jennifer, 359th order. So should I take that order because they're broke? If that customer's broke and in poverty, should I take that order and work for $12 and spend 2 hours and drive about 70 miles round trip and lose money? Wonder if that DoorDash driver in the story would have done that. Leave a comment below. If you like this video or others, check out this one here. Consider hitting subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.